this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Werewolf Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. In the last chapter, Prince Ed attained immortality, living up to his paternal family's eternal legacy. Following that, Eliza gave birth to a baby girl named Princess Marie, adding to the Alpha's royal bloodline. Feeling the pressure of producing enough heirs before the succession, the pack hurried to arrange its fourth match. Lady Vivian Kim and Lady Olivia Kim were chosen to fight for breeding rights with the Kennel Master. Vivian won and conceived Ed's first child. I know some of us have been worried about us not being able to breed the horses, especially if they become elders, because as we discovered in the previous generation, female elder horses cannot have foals. And we lucked out because we bred Twilight in the last generation, literally on the last day of her adulthood. Anyways, some of us have been worried about this. Don't worry guys, I am keeping an eye on their ages, so I will, make sure to breed them before they get to that point. No need to fear, no need to fear. Star has a long time. She's got like 31 days before she ages up into an elder, so we have tons of time with her. And Stone, he ages up into an elder in 4 days, but it doesn't affect the male horses. It's only the female horses. The male horses can breed well into their elderhood, basically until they've passed on. So it's okay, guys. Don't fear, okay? Don't fear. Death is not near at all for these guys. We have a long time to breed them. I am keeping an eye, I promise. So there we go. We have that going on with the horses. It is raining out, so I probably won't take anyone for a ride. And because we're so focused on the werewolf pups being born, and we already have the pregnant female werewolves living with us, I don't want to also breed horses on top of that. It's just too many things. It'd be nice for us to focus on the horse breeding, hopefully once everyone has managed to have their pups. And if I do breed the horses and I have them stay with us, I'll probably take a break with the werewolves. So, I like doing the pregnancies one at a time, even if it is for the pets. Okay, that aside, I, guys, completely forgot about something in the previous flippin' chapter. I made a huge mistake. So normally when my werewolves are getting ready to, I hope I haven't done this in the previous pregnancies or births, but when they're getting ready to give birth to their babies, I do, like when the due date comes around, and the house party starts, before that point, I like to move the excess Sims out so that we only have 5 Sims in the household. That way, we could have up to 3 babies. Last time, though, we only had 1 spot remaining in the household, so even if Eliza was going to have multiples, she wouldn't have been able to because I didn't leave a room in the household. So, I noticed that when I was editing the video, and I was shook, let me tell you. Hopefully this time around I don't forget that, but I keep the household full until, they're ready to have the baby or the due date is near, and then I start emptying the household. So yes, if we keep having, 1 child per pregnancy, we probably won't get our 6 girls before the succession, but you never know, we might luck out and get multiples, and that would actually be really, really helpful. So, I don't know, we're gonna have to see how things pan out. But I do have some notes with our simmies. So let's go ahead and do those notes, even though some of them have already been fulfilled, apparently. Jeez. Okay, so the first note we have is with Bob. He wants to chat with Cassandra and get to know her a bit more. He feels like she might be a really good candidate for a future match, but he's not entirely sure. To be honest, Bob finds every she-wolf stunning, and sometimes he even wonders if one of them might be his fated mate. Obviously, he did give his personal favorite to Vivian last time, which is why he put her in the match. They did have that flirtationship going on, but it doesn't seem as though she is his mate. Look at that. Now he's daydreaming about Lady Eliza. So yeah, it doesn't seem as though anyone has revealed themselves as his fated mate, so he can wonder, but he's not entirely sure. He's not matched with anyone, so And sometimes I use, mates and matches interchangeably, but when we're talking about matchmaking, that's a whole separate feature to when I'm talking about the fated mates, right, guys? So yeah, that's something that is on his mind. I honestly thought Julia, you know what? I bet you Bob is like super devout to Julia. I bet you. He probably is really devout to the goddess of romance. I thought Julia was the most flirtatious and romantic person in the previous generation, but I feel like Bob's kind of just come and blown everything out of the water. He is just completely in love with everyone he sees, and I find it so hilarious and mind-blowing. I just didn't expect it of him because he didn't even have the romance, like the romantic trait. He gained that later on. Anyways, let him do his own thing. Yeah, I forgot to mention this, but I went ahead and added Master Luther to Rose's companions. So these groups, they are usually made up of, I'm pretty sure they're made up of both males and females. They should be made up of males and females. Okay, new family dynamic jokesters. Prince Elma and Prince Charlie just can't stop cracking jokes with each other. He got this with Ed. So he has a nice dynamic with Ed. I love the fact that Elma has a great dynamic with his brothers. Like, this is essential. It's always a hoot when these two are in the same room. Family members with the jokesters dynamic will choose to perform funny or mischief interactions with each other more often, and they'll feel extra playful when spending time together. Yes, they will be jokesters. Yes, yes, yes. I was worried that, because I know I don't know all the dynamics, but I know there's a difficult dynamic, and I was actually worried Charlie would have a difficult dynamic with his brothers, and then that would just isolate him more, but I kind of love that they ended up being jokesters with each other. Charlie, you're finally being understood. I love it. I love it so much. But yes, these companion groups, usually I like having the males and females here. So like, I don't differentiate the gender. This is just literally made up of Sims in the order in which they're born. It's just with Elma's companions, we only had the boys, and Lillian kind of passed away. So Lillian, even if she was in the group, she would have been taken out. Which is, unfortunate, but yeah, I wanted Rosa to have a child, someone her age that she could befriend and potentially bond with. So I went ahead and put Luther in. It was actually very interesting to see her and Luther side by side because physically they look so different. Luther looks really he is, but he's like so ghostly next to her. He's got the light skin, he's got the light hair and the light eyes. I don't know if I've talked about this beforehand. I might have. In case I haven't though, I'm wondering if in the future, because Rosa, she's got a certain look about her, and then the next two children that have been born, they are genetically different to Rosa, so they have lighter skin, they have lighter hair, they have lighter eyes. I wonder if the werewolves are gonna start attributing certain physical characteristics with cursed or weaker children and certain characteristics with stronger children. So maybe children with, medium skin tone, children with darker hair and green eyes, maybe they will be kind of viewed as the healthy offspring. Oh my goodness, Star, why are you crying? Is it because you're scared? Oh, don't worry, honey. But yeah, I wonder if that's going to be a case in the future, and if children that have lighter skin, lighter hair, lighter eyes, they are going to be viewed as more cursed or weaker, sickly. That would be interesting. It kind of just worked out that way, but it got me thinking, it got me thinking. Okay, so I just had to chat really quickly about that. And then we have Ed. I love it when everyone's sitting together and talking. I love it so much. Okay, Ed. Sorry, Ed. I'm going to calm down, and then I'm going to go through your note. So Ed, guys, He wants to be friendly with Edwin and catch up with his best friend. They haven't really had a chance to talk since before Eugene died because of the werewolf pups being born in the pack. As shepherd, Edwin's hands have been full, but now Ed's going to have a child of his own, and that's a big thing to look forward to. And this child of his might potentially end up being raised by his best friend Edwin. So he definitely wants to go talk to him. Edwin's right here. So can we just share some energetic tips with him? Okay, I'm gonna have to get them up. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get you up. Where's my boy Edwin? He's over here. Okay. Or just, discuss neighborhood changes. Because yes, things are gonna change going forward. So it would be nice to kind of discuss it with our bestie. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Guys, we do have a werewolf ability for him to howl and change his... Oh, look at all these. That's so cool. For him to howl, like the Luna howl, and change the, temperaments he has. But then I'm thinking, the more this fills up and the more rageful he gets, the more this kind of bumps up. We get more of ability points. So do you really want to not be raging? Do you really want to not be? I don't know. It's kind of up in the air, Okay, he's gonna go in here. He's gonna talk to Edwin. Okay, Edwin, we just have to catch up, bro. We just gotta chat. We haven't had a chance to chat in a long time. In a long, long time. But they were best friends growing up. Ed and Edwin. I feel like it's a shame they didn't end up together, I feel like it is a shame that Ed and Edwin didn't end up together. I think they would have been a great match, these two. But they've had a really good, bromance with each other. There's never been anything more. But they've been really good friends. So, okay, that makes me happy. And the last one we have is with Lady Vivian, who is still in her first trimester, so, she's taking her sweet time. But Vivian wants to be friendly with Charlie and learn a bit more about the royal guard. She's trying to think ahead for if she has a son and the kind of life he would live. She's heard that Charlie can be quite tough on the youngsters and is hoping to get into his good books in case her boy ends up under his care. So I think it's actually really nice that Vivian, she doesn't seem, yes, she was very desperate to conceive and have a werewolf pup of her own, maybe because, she's getting up there in age, but I kind of like the fact that it appears as though she does not care too much about whether it's a boy or a girl. She is quite happy with, whatever child she ends up having. She probably feels like the whole process is just a really honorable thing to be part of. And it doesn't matter to her. I don't know. Do we want to complain about the local youths? Would she? Maybe she would complain about Eugene. And as a way of getting into his good book, say that, everything looks to be good for my baby. No curse period, no nothing. If my son joins the royal guard, then he will make a really good protege for you. Maybe that's what Vivian's gonna say. But yeah, I was gonna say that it's kind of nice that she's not putting a preference on gender. I feel like the she-wolves, a lot of the she-wolves would be wanting to have, the baby girls specifically, because they know that the pack is in need of baby girls, and these are the future heirs of the pack. And there's, more status attributed to that. So actually, if we think about status right now, in terms of she-wolves, who was the very first she-wolf? I'm already forgetting it. Daisy would have the most status in the pack as Rose's mother. Then Eliza would have the next most status. And then it would be Alice. And Vivian is undecided. If Vivian has a a boy, then she will have less status than Alice. She'll be underneath Alice. But if she has a girl, then she'll have a higher status than Alice. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's kind of interesting for her. But yes, I don't think that she-wolves, a lot of them, would want to rank low by having boys. They want to rank high. But Vivian doesn't really seem to care, you know? She's kind of just happy. And regardless, I mean, this child belongs to Ed Curse, the first immortal werewolf in the court. So imagine having a child with such a legendary wolf. Some of you were saying in the comments that legends of him would probably be told, like stories of Ed would be told throughout the generations. And also that in the future, maybe Ed would be kind of like a guide to the gods and the goddesses, because if you think about it, he is going to live through every single deified god and goddess. He lived through Julia's time. He was born in Julia's time. But as an immortal, he's going to live through every single other alpha that gets deified. So he will know about the lives they have lived. He might even, personally bear witness to their births and their deaths. So that's kind of crazy. I love it, though. I love it for him. Why don't we send someone out on a ride, actually, since the sun has let up and the rain has stopped. So Rosa is going to head off to Academy pretty soon, which is fine. So probably won't be sending her. Let me check up on these guys. So I've got 3. Okay, who's gonna go? It might be Ed and Bob. 98, 94, yeah. So we'll take Bob out first. And how's the weather? It's cool. Nobody's freezing though. I was it Bob that I was doing? I think in the last chapter, I got Bob to go out riding, and it was cool, but it ended up being like cold or freezing, something like that. I think it was cold, and poor Bob, he started freezing to death, and I had to, we got the warning. So he was turning blue, and I had to stop the ride and change him back into his cold weather outfit. So thank goodness I was paying attention to that. Otherwise, we would have had a very tragic accident. Okay, we'll get him to take out Star this time around, since we haven't had him go on a ride with Star at all. He's been spending more time at Stone. And his friends at Stone, so that's good. But we'll take him out for a ride with Star and see, maybe their compatibility. We'll see if they have good horse rider chemistry. So we'll go ahead and do that. Look at this! We have little bunnies here. We have a little bunny, and such a cute white bunny too. That's adorable. A little bunny in the garden. Okay, let's see. Let's go on out. Let's ride. Okay, so there we go. Remember last time when we were trying to get, no, Star's so cute. Okay, do we have any sort of obstacle nearby that we could use, perhaps? We have this one over here. We've got these ones. We also have, I suppose, this area, but I don't know if I want to go there. Or should we just go on a... Maybe, you know what? We'll come here. We'll come here. Practice barrels. Yeah, we'll go off just a little bit. We'll go practice some barrels nearby. Come on. Come on. Let's get going. Okay, but in the previous... Oh, look at her run. But in the previous chapter, I was trying to get Rosa onto Star, and for whatever reason, she kept changing into this weird saddle and blanket combination that I didn't put on her. But it's good to know that everything is working fine with Bob. Oh, look at Star. I've also been thinking about the horse genetics. I feel like for, a foal, if they have it in the future, or when they have it in the future, I think in the previous generation, I said something like the horses will follow the same genetic rule as the Sims, where the males will inherit the father's eyes and mane and the females will inherit the mother's. I have changed my mind since then. I've kind of just decided, because they'll only have the one foal, I've kind of decided, for genetic variability, that whatever coat the foal's going to have, I'll give them the opposite parent's mane, essentially. And then we'll have the best of kind of both parents, regardless of gender. So that's just the way I'm going to do it. Basically, if Star has a foal with Stone, and Starstone, pretty. But if Starstone has a baby, guys, and if that baby has black coat, like the black and white coat of Star, then they will have the mane that Stone has, the light mane that Stone has. But if a Starstone baby has the chestnut coat, then they will have the black mane and tail of Star. That is what I have decided, and that is what it is going to be like. Same for the eyes. They'll have the opposite parents' eyes. So Star, I think Star has blue eyes. I think both Star might have dark blue eyes, and Stone might have just like blue eyes. Because Star's eyes look darker, but I swear they're not black. I don't think they're black. It's okay. We'll figure it out when we get to it. Right, Ed, I want to take you out. I hope you can ride. He's not looking too good. Yeah, he does not look too great right now. Can we try and get you a ride? He might not want to. He might not be able to. He might be like too enraged to do anything sensible. Yeah, he literally cannot. He cannot. Look at this. Okay. I see. You're raging. That's fine. We'll get Elma to go on a ride then. The Alpha can go ride Stone. Let's mount. Yeah, Ed's just, he's not in a good mood right now. So we'll leave Ed be. We'll let Ed do Ed things, okay? We'll take Elma out instead. So let's go out here. Let's go find Stone. Look at how precious Stone looks. But yeah, his eyes, I don't know if you guys can tell, but they're very obviously blue. Like, I can tell. I feel like the colored part on the horse's eyes is kind of hard to see, but I can tell that Stone has blue eyes. Whereas with Star, I mean, she has blue eyes too, but I think she's got darker blue eyes. It's like, it's dark enough to pass off as black. So yeah, we'll get whatever main color they have, they'll have the same parent's eyes, basically, is what I am trying to say. Right, you are riding Stone. Why don't you do the jumps? You come and do the jumps. And then both of you guys can kind of bond over your little thing. That would be kind of cute. Okay, here we go. Nice! Excellent. So you guys can have some training with your horses. Look at Stone. Ah, this is beautiful. This is kind of sweet, isn't it? Because Elma and Stone, they were born in the same generation as each other. So they would, they would have a bit of a bond. I feel like Stone would have a bond with all the boys who were born in the previous generation. So he would with Elma, he would with Ed, he would also have a good bond with Charlie and Edwin. But the most with Elma, maybe. Might have spent the most amount of time with Elma, because Elma's the oldest. Oldest living, I should say. Stone, are you okay? You're like missing a lot. It's okay. I am gonna wait until we have something a bit more exciting happening, and then we'll jump back in to see how everyone's going. So Ed is enraged, and he's running all over the place. Sometimes he's even in one of the buildings with a horse, like Stone. I swear, Stone is so comfortable he does not care about being in these buildings. Like, he will come in here. He will come in here and just chill with the werewolves if he wants to. Meanwhile, you have Star, who very rarely, I feel, comes within the actual castle grounds. She likes her freedom and she prefers to kind of just stay outside. Unless someone calls her in, she doesn't really cross the walls to the other side. And then you've got Stone. Then you have Stone. Stone, you're funny. But okay, Ed, yes, like I said, he is enraged. So we are probably not going to be able to fulfill the note, like the want that he has, but I can still go through the note. So Ed wants to be friendly with... Oh, thank you, Helen, but no thank you, Helen. With Olivia and reassure her after the unexpected outcome of the match. He would have preferred if she had mothered his first child, but he still values her as a friend. Perhaps fate has a different plan for them going forward. So, Olivia has not been feeling too happy with herself, and obviously her relationship with Vivian has been pretty much destroyed, so that, doesn't feel good either. And she, I think, has been keeping just a little bit of distance from Ed since that, because maybe she thinks that Ed favors Vivian now more. But Ed just wanted to check in with her and let her know that it is not the case. Obviously, he values Vivian for being the mother to his first ever pup in his life, in his eternal life. But still, he admires Olivia. He will continue admiring Olivia. He always kind of has. And he, is still going to want to keep a good relationship with her, even if she is kind of taken in a different direction with a different sim in the future. So he kind of just wanted to let her know. I feel like after Eugene's death, Ed, as well as valuing freedom, kind of values his friendships and relationships a lot more than he did before. He's more attentive to people, even though he's going through like his constant raging. When he's clear-minded, he is thinking about them, because now he has this frame of reference, like, what if they died tomorrow, and then I would regret not spending enough time with them or telling them that they mean so much to me. So that's kind of nice of Ed. And he might, even feel these losses more deeply, since he's gonna live pretty much forever. So that was a note with Ed. I'll have to fulfill that on my own off camera. And the other note was with Elma. So Elma, my bud, what's the temperature? It's cool. Okay, I'll just get him to change into his everyday. I think he was oh geez, the camera. He was swimming, which is why he's dressed like this. But he, guys, wants to chat with Luther and see how he's going. After all, Luther is his best friend's son. Thinking back, it's a shame that being alpha took time away from Elma's friendship with Eugene, but maybe he can make up for that by being present for Luther. That's probably also why he's quite attentive to, the way Charlie treats Luther, or he pays a lot of attention to it, because I even, forgot about this. Growing up, Elma and Eugene were actually best friends. So they used to spend a lot of time together and do pretty much everything together. But then ever since Eugene fell in love with Ed, I feel like he kind of joined Ed and Edwin's pair, and they became like a trio type thing, and Elma was left more to himself. And then obviously when Elma became alpha, a lot of his attention was put towards that, his role as alpha, and the welfare of pretty much everyone. So he kind of filled himself up with other relationships, like small relationships he had everywhere. And he was too busy to kind of miss Eugene, I think. But now that Eugene's died, and Luther, his only child, his son, is kind of in this weird position of being cursed in the pack, the first cursed child in his special way. like an ill-fated sort of way rather than a powerful curse that the royal bloodline has. These children have like an ill-fated curse, right? So now that Luther's in this strange position, Elma kind of feels the need to like fill in for Eugene, to be there the way that Eugene might have been. So let's come here. Let's try and discuss some interests with your best friend's son. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's sweet that he's doing this, but it's also sad. Because, you know, the reason behind it. He is trying to maintain a friendship here that he failed to do so in a way. Okay, my boy. No, don't run away. Please don't tell me you're running in a different direction. Okay. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Let us just talk to you. Okay? Let's just talk to you. Oh my goodness, can we practice howling? This is actually cute. Okay, we're just gonna really quickly and then ask about school. Just ask about how he's doing at school. Okay, that's so cute. This is so cute. You know, one thing I really like seeing with the offspring is checking to see who they consider as their mother figures or father figures. In this case, because, you know, we're playing with the males, we would think about the mother figures. And that, you know, is present even if their biological parents are alive. Sometimes the kids, if they have more relationship with someone other than the biological parent, I consider that werewolf being more of the father figure and the mother figure, because you can be biologically related to someone and not close to them, right? Or not see them as like the guiding light in your life. So with Rosa, actually, with Rosa, also Marie has aged up, so I need to give her a makeover and show you guys her cast as a toddler. But if we look at her friendships, she does have the most relationship with Daisy, and that is her biological mother. So she does consider Daisy to be her mother figure. And she has the most relationship with Elma. I suppose it counts for both parents. I should check for both parents. She has the most relationship with Elma among the males, so she does consider her biological father to be a father figure. So she's got a really good bond with her parents, essentially. The other kids, I don't know. We would have to see going forward. Also, who is Elma's? You know what's really fun for me? Once our Sims start having multiple children, especially the alpha, to see who their favorite child is. And, you know, as they get older and as the succession comes closer, I like to think that the alpha feels as though his or her favorite child is the most, I don't know if it's equipped or they're the best candidate to be the successor, or the one that, you know, they feel would make the best leader in the next generations. I think that'd be interesting. And right now, from what I'm seeing, I think Elma actually favors Marie, guys. Isn't that wild? But you know what? With the type of person that Elma is, the fact that Marie, her conception was considered cursed, and throughout the entire pregnancy she was considered cursed, I can understand how Elma is someone who is very, very, like, emotionally connected to the people around him. He would empathize with that. And I think it would make Marie more endearing to him, because she's kind of outcasted by the others, and it's gonna like trigger this protective instinct in Elma for his youngest daughter. But that is so cute. And now I'm just dying to see what Marie looks like as a toddler. So I'm gonna get that sorted, and then I'll see you guys in a second. I finished the makeover for Princess Marie Curse. Let's do a close-up of her face, and then we're gonna quickly go through the swatches for all her outfits. She is really adorable, isn't she? With her brown hair, her light skin, and her pink eyes. She's got the exact same skin shade and tone as her mother. So there we go. They're genetically going to be, I suppose, identical when, she gets older. But we'll have to see how her features are different from her mother and how much of her father she has taken on. Because actually, Elma is quite attractive. Elma looks like a Disney prince. We've established this before. He does. But there we go. This is Marie Curse. She has a bit of a boy cut, but I think it looks adorable on her. And then I love the color swatch she has for her outfit, like gold and lilac. That is so pretty. That is such a pretty combination. But this is her everyday wear. This is her formal wear, sleepwear, party wear, swimwear, hot weather, which is the same as her everyday, and of course her cold weather outfit. I just cannot get over the gold and lilac. It is such a pretty combination. Like, I think among the kids, my favorite that I have seen so far, or among the females, I should say, my favorite that I have seen so far. But okay, that is it for Princess Marie, guys. Lady Vivian is progressing further along in her pregnancy. She is now in her second trimester. So that's very, very exciting. And we do have some notes to go through. So we're going to start off with Prince Ed. So Prince Ed, guys, why is Elma so freaked out? I don't know. But Ed wants to chat with Vivian and check in on his unborn pup. He's been thinking about what eternity will be like and realizes this is a huge milestone for him. As the days tick by, he's becoming more and more eager to see his future son or daughter join the pack. So, there's a lot for Ed to reflect on. Also, guys, he has had 3 attractiveness alerts. I don't know what it is. I don't know if, Bob is rubbing off on him, but Ed has had attractiveness alerts for Olivia, Vivian, and now Cassandra. So I don't know what's going on with him. He doesn't even have, the temperament for the really flirty wolves. So I'm very confused. I think Bob's just influencing Ed's behavior at this point. But yeah, he's been thinking a lot about eternity. I feel like when something like that happens and you've been born immortal, you go through various stages of emotions. Obviously, he's gonna ask to feel a baby. Yes, please. You go through excitement because oh my goodness, this is crazy. Obviously confidence because I did it. I'm the strongest. I'm all powerful. I've done something nobody else has done. All of that, and then past the excitement and the confidence, you'll start reminiscing. Maybe you'll feel a little bit sad about the people that have died. You'll start realizing how long you're going to live and how everyone else around you, they, are not going to be able to keep up with you after some point. And the fact that in this very, very, very long life that you'll probably live, certain events will only ever happen once, and something like the birth of his first ever child, that is not gonna, come by again. I mean, yes, the birth of every child I'm sure will be special to him, but this is the only first child he's ever gonna have. So he's becoming more and more excited to see this baby join the pack, and I'm really happy for him. I'm really, really happy for him. And I'm so glad that everything's going smoothly this time around. So glad. And I cannot wait to see this baby. I don't remember when I was so excited about a pup. I feel like the previous 2 pups, because of, the period of curses that we've been going through, it's been a bit strange, but everything's looking great, and I actually really like this pairing too. They do make an attractive pair. The other note we had was with Vivian. So Vivian, guys, she wants to be friendly with Ira and cheer him up. She's noticed that he's been having a hard time fitting in with the other males and that she's the only friend he's managed to make. Charlie's presence is too strong for him to make a mark in the Royal Guard, but Vivian doesn't feel like he should hide because of it. Look, she's gonna go march up to Charlie. But yeah, she wanted to talk to Ira, and Ira joined the same time that Bob joined. But I've noticed that we have barely seen him. Half the time when we're going to different lots and I have to like teleport everyone over, Ira's the one person that I can't remember because we just haven't had enough interaction with him. We haven't seen him, which, you know, is unfortunate, but it was kind of nice out of nowhere when suddenly Vivian, she had a whim for him. And it got me thinking, what's my buddy Ira doing? Okay, he's dancing over here. But let's come here, let's socialize with him. We'll come through. We'll complain, yes, we'll do a bit of a complaint as a way for her to say, you need to get out there, you need to stop hiding. I do realize Charlie is a lot to live up to, and, you know, Eugene had that dynamic with Charlie where at least he was older than Charlie, and so he had grown up, you know, being best friends with the Alpha. He had grown up with a certain amount of experience, and obviously from the time Charlie was young, Eugene was kind of established already a bit more. So no matter how headstrong Charlie is, there would have been a respectful balance between the two of them. Whereas Ira is not only new, he's younger than Charlie. So he is kind of having to, at least I think he's younger than Charlie. I'm not entirely sure. Regardless though, even if they are around the same age, Charlie has a very strong personality. And Ira, you know, while he's trying to figure things out, he's having to defer to him a lot. So it's probably harder for him to maintain this balance of, you know, dual guard captains. And so he doesn't really speak up a lot. He goes off on his own. He kind of reads a book up in the castle, in like the towers, by himself. And Vivian's been the only person that he has managed to talk to and befriend. And I feel like a lot of that in part is because Vivian herself is a bit of a social butterfly. I see her as a bit of a social butterfly. So I think she makes the effort to, you know, talk to Ira and check up on him. She was probably curious about who he was when he came in because he was new. And, you know, they managed to develop a bit of a friendship here. And she's actually quite close to Charlie. She's good friends with Charlie as well. So yes, like I said, I feel like she's a social butterfly. She's friends with Edwin as well. So yeah, she definitely gets around. And, you know, she has a little bit of a flirtationship with Bob, but that was just to get his favor for the match, and now she probably doesn't even need that. And look, before Eugene died, she had a really, really good friendship with Eugene as well. So she's kind of inclusive. And maybe she's trying to encourage him by saying that, you know, once you get to know Charlie, he's really not that terrifying. So maybe you just need to get out of your shell a little bit, Ira, and stop hiding from everyone. Like, make your presence known a bit more. Eventually you'll get used to things and everything will be okay. These days, you'll look back at it and you'll laugh. So that's actually really nice of Vivian, I feel like. There's also a bit of comfort and confidence from being a she-wolf that has been around since the beginning of Elma's reign. So she kind of knows the social dynamics. She knows how things are. She's seen the birth of every child at this point that's been born. So, you know, she I feel like is quite a mature wolf in that regard. She's definitely chalking up to be a wise one, you know, by her own kind of standards. So that's really cool. And that's, I think, all we had in terms of notes for these guys. Ed is in a bit of a role with the amount of people that he is being attracted to, no joke, and the fact that he has been dancing a lot with Bob, I feel like says something. But we have some more notes as Vivian goes into her third trimester. So the first note we have is with Ed. He wants to be friendly with Elma and discuss the status of his future pup as a bloodline heir. He's always been a party prince, but after attaining immortality, he's become more serious. Elma's going to assure him that while his children will have noble titles, if he has a daughter, she will count among Elma's bloodline heirs. I just think it is fascinating that when Ed was a prince himself and he was potentially in line for the throne, he had zero interest in like getting involved in anything and trying to figure out how to become better than his brothers so that he could win the crown. He had like zero interest. But as soon as it has something to do with his own child, like his own daughter, he is quite invested, and he wants to make sure that she has the best, possible chance to kind of make her mark in the pack. Basically, he wants his daughter to be successful. Obviously, he isn't gonna like push anything too crazy, but he's not gonna make demands or anything like that, but he just wants to know that his daughter is not going to be excluded. And I just find it interesting that he's even thinking ahead that far, and his, pondering the fact that, wait a second, we are in desperate need of heirs for, the next generation, before the succession. Elma can only have so many children before he becomes an elder. And he cannot breed / he's going to die because of the poisoning in his blood. And I am in the unique position, myself and Charlie, to provide him with, these bloodline heirs. So even though Elma's probably already aware of this, Ed's like going out of his way to remind Elma, if I have a daughter, then she's gonna count among your heirs, right? She also is gonna carry the curse in her blood, so she should rank alongside her cousins, her princess cousins. And Elma's like, yes, you are right. I'm aware of that, and don't worry. I'll definitely keep any daughters you have and any daughters that Charlie has in mind for the future. I think the pack will be happy for any of our bloodline heirs to succeed us. So yeah, I think Ed feels quite reassured, but that's actually quite sweet. And the next whim that we had was with Vivian. So she, as you can see, is in her third trimester already. Yep. And she wants to chat with Eliza to learn more about her experience during childbirth and make the necessary preparations. Vivian is the only Kim sister to win a match and conceive, so she wants to hear about it from a recent mother. That aside, Vivian is also curious about the cursed princess that was born of Eliza. I don't see Vivian. Okay, where is Eliza? Why are you going up and down the staircase? I don't know. Let's find Eliza. Where the heck is Eliza? Okay, you are here. You guys can gossip about neighbors. Yes, about the youngest princess, Princess Marie, can gossip about her. But I don't see Vivian as the worrying type who would, fuss and be really concerned over whether her child is going to be healthy or not, or whether her child is going to be cursed or not. I don't think she's the type of person to worry about any of that. The complete opposite, really, of Eliza. That's all Eliza thought about when she was pregnant. But I do feel like, invite to feel baby. I feel like Vivian might be like the gossipy type just a little bit. She's a social butterfly, but she also likes being informed about everything that's happening, on the royal grounds. And so I could see her trying to get gossip out of Eliza because she knows that Eliza... Oh, what's this? Yes! Yes, this is so nice. Looks like King Elma and Prince Ed just adore spending time with each other. Such comfortable camaraderie among family members is a blessing. Heck yeah, they have a close family dynamic as well as the jokesters family dynamic. That's amazing. Does it like track the dynamics they have? I don't know. I don't know if it tracks that, because they did have like a jokesters dynamic beforehand. But that's interesting. So they are close. That makes me happy, and they have good compatibility. And I know Elma is also close with his brother Charlie, so that's kind of sweet. I'm glad the princes are staying, firmly in each other's sights. So that's really good. But yes, I could totally see Vivian trying to go ahead and get gossip. I mean, she definitely knows that Eliza was really freaked out during her pregnancy, and that she was having a rough time, and she was always fearful, and that she has kept as far a distance as possible from the princess as she possibly can since Marie's birth. So she's wondering if Eliza is going to be open to, some gossip about her daughter, because in her eyes, Eliza doesn't seem like the protective type. And to be fair, who was it? Was it Josephine and Olivia? Or was it Josephine and Cassandra that Elma told to be nice to Eliza? I think it was the Goth sisters. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Kim sisters were actually the ones who were spreading the rumors, or if they were the ones gossiping about, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were the ones gossiping about Eliza and her cursed baby. So yeah, she wants gossip, she wants information, because they haven't really heard anything about Marie. They know she's aged up a little bit, but they haven't really seen her around, and they're wondering, why is that? I mean, we don't want to necessarily interact with her because, she's cursed and we don't want anything to happen to us. But also, is she being hidden away because she's cursed? How come the shepherd isn't bringing her out anywhere? So they're trying to get news. They're starting to get a little bit too curious about what's happening here. Vivian. One thing I love, guys, is how dynamic our characters are, or how just not monotonous they are. Because, we have the good sides, we have the bad sides. A lot of the times, you can't just classify a sim that we have, a werewolf in the pack. You can't classify them as like a Disney hero or a Disney villain. You can't, because they have so many aspects of their character, and the way their stories go is just, it's so interesting to me. Like, I can take aside every character and have things I love about them and things I hate about them, I think that's really cool. It's the same for Vivian. She's really sweet when it comes to her own children, and I love that she has a positive attitude, but she can be a bit of a gossip queen, I feel like, and she's a social butterfly and she's inclusive, but also she talks crap about you if you end up having a cursed kid, So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting for me. But I think she'll catch up when she is ready to have her baby, because she should be going into labor at 12 p.m. So the other thing I need to do, I am going to clear out the household so that we only have 5 Sims, which means I only really have to remove the horses. So I'm going to take the horses out. This way, if we luck out and she gives us multiples, at least there is a chance of that happening, and we don't miss out on potential multiples like we did with Eliza. It's go time! So Vivian is finally in labor, ready to have her baby, and I am super excited as well. It's actually been a whole night since I left off, but we're back. I mean, for you guys, it's gonna be like a few seconds. For me, it's a whole night. But okay, I don't know what to say about Ed. He is in his werewolf form right now, And so he's waiting outside the birth chamber at present. He's like raging, but I think he had enough of himself there for him to freak out over the fact that Vivian was about to have this baby. I did make sure to get rid of the horses, so we only have 5 Sims in the household, meaning, if we luck out, Vivian does have the possibility of having up to 3 kids, so she could have multiples. We have space for it, basically. We might not, but we have space for it. So let's not waste any more time, and, I'm sorry, I just realized I need to, keep my camera still because it bounces everywhere. Okay, Vivian. Let's get going, shall we? Let's have this baby. Is it going to be a boy or is it going to be one of our bloodline heirs, a precious girl that's going to bear the last name of Curse? Let's see, Vivian. What is it going to be? I feel like because we're on a time crunch, multiples would also be nice. Oh, finally. Oh, it's a girl. Nice. Okay, guys, we got another bloodline heir. So this is the 3rd girl that we have out of 6 girls that we need. Ed literally just transformed back into his human self, which is great. Perfect timing. So let's go ahead and name this child. And guess what? There was no cursed period during the conception or during the birth, which means this child is completely normal, just like Princess Rosa. So this obviously is going to be a miss because her father is not the alpha, so she's part of the cursed bloodline. She's a bloodline heir, but she's a noble. So this is going to be Miss May Curse. Miss May Curse. I think that is a lovely name. Okay, just the one child, but it's okay because we had a baby girl. That's amazing. Look at Ed transforming in the background. That's amazing. Perfect timing, Ed. Perfect timing. Oh, look at Vivian. She is so happy. So happy. Good job, Vivian. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna get you to back up here because we need Elma to come and take a look at his niece. There we go. And I feel like Ed would be very interested in giving some love to his child as well. So there we go. We'll just let him cuddle the little baby for a bit. See, look at that. When you do the cuddling interaction, they end it by having that little kiss on the forehead. So it's kind of strange to me that they made a whole new interaction specifically for that. Hey, that's fine, I guess. Okay, once you're done, I want you to back up as well so that we can get Ed over here and Ed can take a look at his little baby. Okay, Ed, come on. Our proud father. I'm so excited for him. So excited for him. Little Miss May. Oh, okay, that's sweet. That was a bit quick. He's having his preparental panic. It's lined up there. Oh, that's sweet. I didn't even like that interaction. Okay. Well, I am really, really happy that we managed to get that done. And I feel like it would be a bit of a rush at this point for me to go and, put in another matchmaking and another breeding, but I don't know. Should I try, guys? Should I try? I don't want this chapter to run too long, though. It might be better for us to kind of just save it for next time. Okay, well, regardless, let me get Miss May moved out to stay with our second princess. And then I'll see where we leave. I'll see what I decide to do. But this was a success, guys. This was a total success. Now that Ed's calmed down, he's actually dancing in celebration for the birth of his daughter. That's adorable. With who? Who is he with? He's with, I think, Bella and Olivia? Wait, hold on. Yeah, he's with Bella, Olivia, and Dora, dancing it up. Good on you, Ed. I'm proud of you. He's probably proud of himself, too. Unfortunate that, the mother of his child isn't here celebrating with him, but hey. What is Vivian doing, actually? Oh, she's probably resting at home, to be honest. She's probably resting after the ordeal she went through. But I have moved everyone that I need to move out. So Vivian has returned with the she-wolves, or returned to the she-wolves. The baby has been moved to the den with Edwin, and the horses I have yet to move back in, because even though I'm not going to go through with the matchmaking in this chapter, I'll save it for the next chapter because then we'll have too many things. I figured that I would just keep the household like prepared for the matchmaking. There's no point in moving the horses back in for a couple of minutes and then having to move them back out next time. So I'm kind of just gonna leave it be for now. I have gone ahead and made a new she-wolf to join our pool that the matchmaker is going to choose from. And the newest addition is Lady Summer Holiday, guys. So she has the exact same skin shade and tone as Eliza and Nora. She also has brown hair, and then she has light green eyes. We're getting a whole lot of brunettes. So some of the females I am using like inspo, I'm actually getting the Maxis females, and I'm giving them makeovers and turning them into werewolves. And I'm realizing, so I was choosing their hair colors based on their eyebrow color because I figured that was their root color and their natural, genetic. And so that's why I changed Eliza's hair from red to brown, because the eyebrows were brown. And that's why I've changed Summer's hair from blonde to brown, because the eyebrows are brown. But now I'm realizing that a lot of the Maxis Sims just have the brown eyebrows for every hair color except for black. And I think a handful of them, I don't know, there might be one that has like blonde with blonde hair, and then there might be a handful that have red eyebrows for red hair. But pretty much every single hair color they have, they use the brown eyebrows. But now that's kind of the standard that I set for myself, and I'm kind of stuck with this. So I suppose we're gonna have like a ton of, raven head and brunette Sims, but that's okay. That's okay. Who knows? We might get some random genes from somewhere at some point. But also, I feel like the fact that we have our boys right now who have given us, like in Generation 1, we had wild hair colors in Generation 1, like wild hairs. So that's kind of, lasting through a lot of this. And I suppose their genes, if it carries on, will influence the hair color of, future generations. But currently, that's what's happening. I didn't realize that I would kind of be stuck in this little loop. I thought that Maxis would have Sims with the same eyebrow, like root color, as their hair color, but they don't. A lot of them just use brown regardless of hair color. So it's unfortunate, guys, but yeah, we're probably just gonna have a ton of brunette and black-haired Sims. But hey, it's okay. We'll have interesting, hopefully, skin genetics, and because there is some variation in that, and hopefully we will have some variation, I'm sure we will, with the eye genetics. I mean, we're working with 10 eye colors for our werewolves, so we should be fine. We'll cover a whole lot of things. But okay, I am not going to ramble too long. Actually, is Summer here? Summer is somewhere here. Here we go. So Summer Holiday. She is here with us. I am not gonna check up on the club panel to see who's kind of in the winning for Bob's favor, because I want to keep it a surprise for the next chapter. But we are going to be breeding Elma again. So Elma's going to be trying for, fingers crossed, his third princess. So I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling good, guys. We might make some progress yet. How long do we have? We have checked up on this. Okay, we've got like 3 weeks. We've got 3 weeks. If we luck out, we might actually get like 1, 2, 3. We could have 3 girls over the next 3 weeks. But then some of you were saying, like, what's going to happen if during the succession there are toddlers? Well, in that case, guys, the toddlers aren't going to participate in the succession. Basically, whatever children we have from, like, child up, they're going to have to participate in the succession. But, the toddlers, they will I suppose it depends. Because we have 6 positions. Yeah, we have 6 positions. So that is kind of rough. Because what happens when we have 6 positions and then we have the youngsters? You know what, actually? You know what? Because so many things to consider. What I may end up doing, guys, is, for example, we have 6 positions that have to be like battled for, right? Among the heirs for us to figure out who's gonna get what. So what I might end up doing is we have rankings, right? We have the rankings, but again, you have to be a child. You can't participate in the rankings if you're a toddler. So there's 6 positions. Normally among the 6, what happens is we only fight for 4 of the positions, and then the 2 lowest ranking become the guard captains. So the guard captain position isn't actually fought for. Now, if we have enough children to fight for the initial roles, basically whatever amount of children we have, if we have 3 children, we'll rank 3 children, we'll get 3 children to fight for like alpha and like the first 3 roles, matchmaker and kennel master. And then I'm gonna bring in new blood to fill out the rest of the roles. So we'll have to have a new blood shepherd and we'll have to have a new blood guards captains, like both of them. So then the children who are still toddlers, like if we had 3 toddlers and 3, children of age, then the 3 toddlers would get put into a separate category for backups in the next generation. So like they won't actively serve as a member of the court and they won't be featured in the intro, but if someone from the main court dies, then we can use the kids in that pool to fill in the new position. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm sorry if that made no sense. I'm trying to like work it out in my head as I'm explaining it to you guys, but that's what I'm thinking of. It'll make sense as we like play through, but in terms of my brain, like that's where I'm at. If you need me to clarify in the comments, I will try and, re-explain it in the comments, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Basically, whatever children are of age that we have available at the time of the succession, they're going to participate, and then I'm just going to have to fill in all the other roles with new blood. And if we have any toddlers or under, they can be extra sims that I'll use in the next generation in case someone dies. So we'll use these kids to kind of fill those roles. But it does mean that those kids might become like extra characters, and so I won't focus on developing their personalities. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So it's kind of sad because, it means that we're kind of rushed a little bit. But this is probably gonna be a very short gen. But hey, we'll work things out as we go. It's exciting. That's what matters. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.